If I were to ask you, what's the scariest thing about Minecraft? What would your answer be? Minecraft is an innocent game, one that most people would consider not to be scary at all. But there is one thing that the developers decided to add that never fails to scare us. Cave noises have no right to be as creepy as they are. To catch anyone up who isn't aware, a cave noise is one of 19 ambient noises that play when you are in or near a cave. There are many different kinds of them, some long and drawn out, some sharp and jarring, and if these noises actually had a reason or a source, then Minecraft would not be too far away from a horror game. In this video, we will be going over exactly what makes these cave noises terrifying and how they bring out the potential creepiness of Minecraft itself. Then we will be using this information to make the most terrifying Minecraft mod. If I were to just play a cave noise, it's really not all that terrifying. At the end of the day, it's just good sound design to build a creepy atmosphere. But why is it that when we hear them in Minecraft, they make us want to instantly leave the game? Sure, the sound design adds to it, but it can't just be the noise itself. To answer this, let's take a deeper look at the differences between Minecraft and an average horror game. If we hear a creepy noise in a horror game, sure it's creepy, but it's completely natural, so we don't really bat an eye. We completely expect it from a game like Amnesia, Visage, Iron Lung, or even Phasmophobia, and while each of these games are terrifying and have their own extreme measures of scaring the player, it doesn't do it in the same way Minecraft does. Minecraft is not a scary game. Why would there be something so unnerving in the middle of it? Cave noises clearly do not belong in Minecraft, and that makes them more jarring and spine-chilling than if they were in a game that was designed to make you feel exactly that way. In short, they catch you off guard. Of course, we know there's no reason behind these noises, but what if there was? I think subconsciously, especially if you're hearing a cave noise for the first time, it's natural to assume that it means something. So it makes you feel like something could be around the corner, or right behind you. It gives you the feeling that something is happening without you seeing it.
What the hell is that sound?
We will bring back that feeling of meaning to cave noises that you may have felt the very first time you heard one. As well as being an innocent game, Minecraft is also a simple one. Minecraft is a complete sandbox with no forced objectives or goals, in a randomly generated world. The game doesn't force you to do anything, it just gives you the tools to accomplish whatever you want to accomplish. But along with this openness comes emptiness. The game allows you to breathe life into an otherwise lifeless game. With the incredibly simple mob designs, it doesn't feel like there is much movement to the world aside from the player. Even the mobs that are supposed to be acting as human NPCs feel devoid of any kind of life or intelligence. And for Minecraft, this is a good thing. There are no distractions or nudges to get in the way of your personal goal when playing the game. But there's a side effect to this emptiness. When you hear the mere suggestion that there is something churning behind the scenes, it's jarring because of its contrast against Minecraft's emptiness and predictability. It's the suggestion that there might be a little more to the game than you originally imagined. The first time you hear a cave noise being one of these suggestions. This is why I think the Herobrine creepypasta was so easy for people to latch onto, and why it gained so much popularity among the Minecraft community in its early days. Herobrine is a ghost-like entity that was said to have been spotted in Minecraft by players online. He has the default Steve skin, the only difference being his eyes are completely white. And while it is stupid to admit I believed it existed when I was 11, there was a very intriguing feel behind the idea of Herobrine. The idea that there was some kind of rogue player or AI that my friends and I hadn't found yet. I want to make an entity that utilizes these cave noises to create a Herobrine-esque effect, taking those suspicions that there is something going on behind the scenes, and confirming them. The question now is, will it be scary? And to answer that, I think there has been one addition to Minecraft that puts these theories to the test. Guardians were mobs added in Minecraft 1.8 back in 2014. The Elder Guardian has a feature very similar to the cave noise. When you get close to an Elder Guardian, it'll jump scare you by making a hologram of itself spin around the player along with the sound. The jump scare itself is completely harmless, and to most not scary at all. Same as the cave noises. But in the context of Minecraft, a game where horror elements do not belong, and with the implication that there is more life in this game than assumed, a single, small jump scare can do a lot.
I'm gonna get oh my god! Why is it so scary?
Now, it's time to bring all of this together and plan out our mod. Firstly, in order to harness the potential of the cave noises, they need to sound like they are coming from our monster. If you hear more cave noises than normal, this will mean that he is close by. Secondly, in order to make our monster more terrifying, we can mix the essence of two mobs already in the game. Something about being chased by an Enderman can be absolutely terrifying, considering it's one of the few mobs that runs that quickly towards you. On the other hand, baby zombies aren't scary at all, except they can slip through cracks and openings where they just shouldn't be able to. If we can mix these two elements and make a monster that can get through unexpected places, and who also looks tall and creepy, then it will already be beyond terrifying. Thirdly, I want to do my best to make the sound design really terrifying. I'm taking inspiration from Puppet Combo and their games Nun and Power Drill Massacre that both have intense and sustained chasing sounds that catch you off guard every single time you hear them. Lastly, I want this thing to feel like it's more than just a simple Minecraft mob. I want to give it multiple different reactions to the player, complex animations, and make sure that when you see it, it knows. This is the brain of the Cave Dweller. And it all starts right here, with the Cave Dweller engine. Every tick, a signal is sent from here to the adjacent nodes. After setting up a model and some simple placeholder animations, I was able to start working on this brain and implementing behaviors. The behaviors have their own engines, but they're only powered if the brain is activating them. For now, let's focus inward on the chasing behavior. Before we start making complex animations, there are only two things that the chase behavior needs to do right now. Number 1, chase the player. If this behavior is activated, we want the player to be chased every single tick until the entity dies or despawns. And on the second pathway, we need to first wait 30 seconds before sending the signal through. Once the signal is sent through, it's going to check if the player is looking at us. If not, we despawn. There's only one reason I want the Cave Dweller to despawn mid-chase. I think it's very important to feel like you can actually escape him. If he kills you too soon, then you barely have any time to feel terrified. However, if he's slow or not powerful enough to kill you, then there's nothing to worry about. It's all about finding the right balance between horror and making the chase survivable. Next, I wanted to work on the fleeing behavior. When you encounter the Cave Dweller, there's a chance that he might run away out of sight. This one works similarly to the chase behavior. If the engine is activated, permanently run away to a random spot. If we are not being looked at, despawn. The third and final reaction is the stare behavior. For the first pathway, we wait 10 seconds to send a signal through. Once a signal goes through, we will check if we're not being looked at, then you guessed it, despawn. The second pathway is what I like to call the personal space bubble. The stare behavior will constantly check if the player is within 10 blocks. If so, it will immediately turn itself off and switch to the chase behavior. With our behaviors finished, let's put all of this together in the brain. First, the conditions for reacting to one of these behaviors is if we are being looked at. Then we will roll a random number 1 out of 3. The signal is then sent to its respective number. After this, the Cave Dweller is working as intended, except there's something missing. Let's go back to the chase behavior and uncover another pathway. This node will check if there is a 1x1 space right in front of us. If there is, ignore physics and go through. On the pathway beside this one, it will do exactly the same thing if there is a block on its head level. Our monster now feels like more than a normal Minecraft mob, but it doesn't look like one. It's time to add arguably the most important thing: animations. First, I revamped the chasing animation, adding a ton more movement to the arms and trying my best to make it look absolutely terrifying. Then I added a run animation for when the entity is fleeing, making it look less intimidating and more bug-like. Next, a quick jolting motion for when the Cave Dweller is looked at. Then we have two animations that, in my opinion, are the most important ones: crouch and crawl. The thing that makes these animations more terrifying than all the rest is you absolutely do not expect them. When have you ever seen a mob crouch down lower than its head height in order to chase you in a 1x2 space where it otherwise wouldn't fit? When have you ever seen a mob squeeze itself through a tiny 1x1 space to continue its pursuit? Minecraft mobs do not normally have this amount of lifelike control over themselves, but this one does, catching you by complete surprise and making these animations the most terrifying out of all of them. Now, we need to make it live up to its name and start playing some cave noises. In the brain, let's add 2 more checks. First, we need a timer that upon reset sets a random time between 8 and 44 minutes. Once this time is below 5 minutes, send a signal. But the signal will not go through unless the other condition is met. That other condition being if the player is in a cave. The moment these two fire, start playing ambient cave noises. But not just any cave noises. I custom designed 4 of my own sounds, trying to make them sound a little bit more intense than the rest of them, and I think I succeeded. When that same timer hits 0 and both checks are still met, spawn the cave dweller. There can only be one in existence at all times. The last thing we need to do is go back through and add custom sounds. First, a cracking sound whenever you stare at the monster. Secondly, custom footsteps and a scurry sound whenever he disappears. Then a fleeing sound, sort of like a screeching when he runs away. And lastly, the chase sound. I think it's best if you hear it in the next segment where we test everything by simply exploring a cave. By the way, the panic you saw in that clip was 100% authentic. I was not planning on getting actually jump scared by my own mod anytime during this project, but it happened, and I threw away any chance I had at defending myself along with that sword. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video and want to support me, go follow my Twitch in the description. I also have a Patreon where you can give $2 a month to have your name on the credits of these videos, as well as helping me bring my sleep paralysis demons to life. I appreciate all of you. Have an awesome day.